And we are live. Welcome, welcome, everyone. We are so excited to learn about a little bit of daddy-daughter duo deals that are happening. My name is Alex. I am a part of Pace Morby's social media team, and we are hosting this live so that you can learn a little bit more about how these creative deals are getting done. What are the logistics behind them, and kind of maybe how you can work with Michael or John in the future. So Mandy is going to be asking these lovely two individuals a little bit of a questions based off of a deal that they've recently closed, and talk about maybe the communities that helped them out to get that deal through to the finish line. So Mandy, go ahead and take it away. One last thing before I let you go. If you have any questions at all for either Michael or John, feel free to drop that in the comments section. Looks like James has already taken advantage of the comments section. So get on that, ask the questions that you might have, and then we'll get them answered live for you now.
Thanks, Alex.
Great seeing you, Alex. Thank
Hey,
you.
John. Hey, Michael. Where are we coming in from?
I'm just outside of Detroit, Michigan, between Detroit and Lansing, Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah, we're both from the Great Lakes state.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
I'm in Jacksonville, Florida now, but I'm from Toledo. So I fly into Detroit all the time. We have a lot of properties up in that area. So, man, I'm going to be bumping into you guys.
Yeah, look forward to it. Come to one of our meetups.
I know. Let me know.
You can do some speaking. Let's coordinate the timing and see what's up. See what you want to do.
Absolutely. We'll be spending a lot of time in Ohio this entire summer, so I would love to jump on that.
Beautiful. Every third Saturday of the month. So just keep that in mind and let's stay in touch.
For sure. So you guys are on here talking about a deal you did together?
Yes, we are.
Correct.
Awesome. Was this also in the Michigan area?
Yep, Lansing.
Okay, I'm familiar with that. So let's start out with what communities you guys are in, and then give us some secret sauce on what we're talking about today.
Well, that's actually how we met, was the Subto community. So I met John at one of the meetups that he was just talking about. And, I could just tell based on his energy and what he's done. And, that's somebody that I want to continue to be around and surround myself with.
I love that. So were you in Subto prior to attending the meeting?
No, I think I went to a couple meetings. I just started looking as I invested like 20 years ago. And, now those homes, we didn't really do anything with them as far as pulling capital or cash out. So they all were paid off in about 20 years. And I was thinking, man, I need to buy some more homes. Like, it's not enough to retire. And so I started doing research and looking for meetups. And that's when I found out about Subto. It was in Eventbrite. That's right. I think I saw something. Yeah.
I know. And then you come and you meet all the people and the energy, and it all snowballs from there.
Right. Absolutely.
Super cool. And then John, you're obviously in Subto, but I think you're in owners too, right?
You're talking Mike? I'm sorry, I got a phone call. I just clicked do not disturb. That won't happen again, right? Is that the secret?
Right, yeah.
You're popular.
Yep, that's the secret. Thank you.
We were saying, we know you're in Subto, but you're also an owners club, correct?
Yeah, for sure. We got in last year as a founder, and then we rejoined this year. It's been phenomenal all around, just like the Subto community and meeting great people like Mike. Like literally always had some of the best energy in the world, and just came to the meetups, was ambitious, which, speaking of owners club, only for the ambitious. Here's the pin right here. Yeah. And yeah, Mike probably jump on next year. He's going all in with rental properties, and just we're super proud dads as well. It's amazing that his daughter Katerina and my daughter Julia, combined, as she was on the acquisition side and my daughter on the disposition. And
okay,
super cool.
Alex dropped that daddy-daughter thing, and I'm like, what's going on? We have to dive deeper into that kind of tagline.
Yeah, Mike will tell you about it, especially all the beginning, and I'll tell you towards the ending.
Yeah. So when we bought our properties like 20 years ago, it was through buying courses and learning different methods on how you can, before I knew what wholesaling, what that phrase meant, or we were doing that. And where we found success was through probate. We would liquidate probate estates. And so, we would actually, before all the technology that they have today, go down to the courts and, look through the files. And that's how we would find if there was real estate held up in a probate estate. And so now, being an entrepreneur and having business demands that are, can be a little, hard on the time, I didn't have the time to do that anymore. So I hired my daughter 2 summers ago to start doing the research that I used to do. And so she came up with a deal. And, like anybody knows, it doesn't happen quickly. You got to get into a rhythm. You have to start contacting the people. You have to start writing letters. You have to start, doing these things. And so I can't remember exactly. I think it was like in that first summer, maybe, a year later, something like that, the deal started, coming together. And so the other thing that I did not have a talent for is I was only looking for, and this is what I learned through Subto, I was only looking for the deals that I wanted to buy as a long-term rental. But if I could find something that maybe didn't fit my buy box, I could lock it up in a contract and then hand it to John. And John was, works really good with disposition. So my daughter found the deal. I negotiated it, locked it up in a contract. And at the same time, though, I was counseling with John. Hey, what do you think about this price? What do you think of this? And, hey, if you can buy it for this, I think I can move it. So, I'm not just, I didn't do everything on my own. It was through good counsel of the Subto and Subto leader that, he is here in Michigan. And so after his counsel, I got it locked up, and then I passed it to him. And then that's where, him and his daughter took over.
So what did you and your daughter do with this contract?
Well, we got it from Mike, and we worked through it at the beginning as we were kind of working on the negotiation, and we got it, and we presented it to all of our best go-to buyers, and we do have pretty much buyers, and we have a nationwide dispo team where we help wholesalers nationwide. And I love Michigan because I know it like the back of my hand. I'm also a realtor, and so we posted it, we marketed it, and one person locally had said, "Hey, no, I wouldn't even pay like 15 or 20,000 for the place," which a lot of wholesalers or people might have been like, "Oh man, this place sucks. I got to get a price reduction." But we kept fighting the good fight, and we marketed it, and within days we had another guy that was flipping a house close by and got it under contract for. So my daughter did all the work. She negotiated with the guy, talked to him, and learned the basics of dispo, because everybody knows the saying, buyers are liars and sellers are worse.
True.
There's another line that buyers are liars in the realtor business and listing agents last in the realtor business, in the real estate business. So disposition is like real estate. You might not, because it's your inventory, just like listings.
Mm-hmm.
It's like listings, I meant to say. So that's why it's a really good part of the business. But acquisitions, you get bigger hits, and when you have a good team, you can scale up. And that's kind of what Squad Up and Subto and Owners Club's been all about. Like literally all miracles.
Absolutely.
And that's where I got to understand the talents of what John had. But going to meetups were great. But when I went to Squad Up, that's where I really got to spend some time with him and meet him, and then understand, what his capabilities were and his talents were. And I think that's when the relationship started forging a little better, because you kind of break out with people and
Mm-hmm.
have those side conversations, or maybe you're standing in the back, or, things like that. And that's when it really happened. And, his daughter, it was great for the, she went to MSU, which is near Lansing. And that was part of the connection throughout, her being able to dispo that deal when I talked to her.
How cool. So does your daughter work for you regularly, or was just this the one-off?
Both of us, our daughters work for us regularly, on top of their school. They're both in college. His daughter goes to Grand Valley.
Grand Valley. Yeah.
Grand Valley. Yeah.
I absolutely love that so much. Like, how empowering. They are so fortunate to be in the position to be able to learn this at such a young age and be hands-on and be in school. And I always say, I wish I would have started this 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely incredible to see them jump on board and where they're going to be in even 5 years.
Yeah, it's super exciting. And the foundation of it all is literally Subto as a starting point, and Pace having a vision, and then bringing, great team people on, like yourself. So you're an owners club, I see.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
I did all the things. We started in Subto, and then I got Gator, and then I did TC, and then owners. I was like, I just can't have enough.
Yeah, no, your name really rings a bell. So I know you been around, and we're lucky to have you as our host today. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys too. I love doing this because I get to actually spend some time with people because we're all in the thick of it on the day to day, and then I selfishly get to be like, oh, you're there, you do that, you're in that backyard. Let me pick your brain in front of all these other people.
It's
So
amazing.
if you don't mind, are you comfortable sharing the numbers on what you purchased it for, what the dispo was, how you spread up the JV?
Yeah, absolutely. Mike could say it, or I can say it. It's all good,
Yeah, we got it under honestly, I don't remember. I remember we made $10,000.
Yeah.
But was it 25 or
50,000, and we wholesaled it for 60. We assigned the contract.
Yeah.
So standard wholesale deal. Unless it was 40 and 50, one way or another, it was 10,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it might have been 40. We had it under contract for. We wholesaled it for 50.
Yeah. And then you guys split the 10,000 between your two teams.
Yeah, he paid his daughter, I paid my daughter, and everyone's happy.
That's awesome. And how long did it take start to finish? Like, how long did it take to wrap up? I know probate takes a while of the follow-up to get that going. And then how long until you found your dispo and had that executed?
I think it was less than, I don't remember how long it took to, from start of contacting through probate and when we got under contract. That takes a long time. I mean, sometimes it can happen quickly, but I would say
sometimes too.
It's a patience business. It was definitely months, 4 to 6 months, if I had to guess, of them being ready and, going through and cleaning out the estate. I mean, I've got people I've been talking to literally for 2 years from when she started this, and they're still just not ready.
Which is okay. There's a lot of emotion in all of that too. It's the consistency of following up and not pressuring. It's like, I'm here when you're ready. My offer's still here. I'm still here for you. How can I help? Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah. And then on the contract, we wrote 60 days to close. So I know we were within that 60 days. We did not have to file an extension. I don't remember. It was under 60 days, but I don't remember the exact amount of days. But it was under 60 days. So, and I did. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying that's pretty quick.
Yeah. And I did not tell my daughter like really what was going on in the background because she had already done the work a while ago, and I pay her hourly to do everything. And so it was fun to be able to present her with a check and explain how, residual income and work you did a while ago, because I didn't have in my mind, I had ideas of how I was going to do it and, how I would award her and commission her, but I'd never had a conversation with her. She was happy just being hourly. So when I presented her with a check, she was like, so now she asked me, hey, what's going on? John and I have one under contract right now. She's like, hey, what's going on with that deal?
That's awesome. That's very incentivizing that you bought her attention. Yeah.
Well, and it's funny too, because now in college, she's taking a real estate. She's a junior and she's taking a real estate class this summer. She took a summer course.
How
nice.
Cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Like, I want to learn more about this.
Right. So I'm guessing it was a cash transaction.
You got it.
Right.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you guys want to share about that particular deal? I know you're already working together some more, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. So, let's see. Just basically thankful for the deal, thankful for Mike, and thankful for you doing the interview. The deal aspect, it was just, it's just all about hard work, and we're glad that, we're not giving our daughters just everything on a silver platter. So, teach them resilience and earning their own way and not depending on another person and being a strong American.
Absolutely. And then being able to fall back on the community, like somebody knows what somebody has they say the key to your treasure box, but they have the information that you need. So he has the expositions, he's got the pipeline for the probates, he's penetrating that relationship, and you guys are already building out all of your your buyers, and so being able to rely on one another. So it looks like you buy houses anywhere. So you're a nationwide flipper, wholesaler,
Ma-
dispo,
yeah,
all the things?
yeah, wholesale slash dispo nationwide, and then yeah, mainly flippers stuff is in Michigan, and Mike likes to buy in Michigan, buying holds, and Alabama heavy. So
Yeah.
he's done some in Detroit recently, and I referred him a Section 8 guy.
Yeah.
They got a nice property.
Great. Yeah.
Third.
Michigan and Alabama, and then nationwide. I will definitely make note of that too. So Jeff has a question on how you found the deal. I know you said it was a probate, but how did you get into the probate list or people?
Yeah, that's just going down to the courthouse and scrubbing the court files. So that's how we found that deal. Yeah.
How often do you make that visit?
It depends on the county. It's based on the population of the county. Some counties, you only have to go once a month or once every 2 to 3 months because there's not a lot happening in those, smaller rural counties. But, some of them like Wayne County and Oakland County and Macomb County, you can go for days and days and days and never catch up.
And then once you are going down to those counties, what are you doing with that information? Are you sending letters, door knocking?
No, we call. Yeah, we call. Yeah. I mean, we do both, but we call and write letters at the same time. So what my daughter does is she pulls all the information and she makes the first point of contact. And then if somebody says, yes, I have a home that I'm interested in selling, then she puts it in the CRM and I get an alert saying, hey, call this person. And she'll have like the Zillow and any information of the conversation, everything's in the notes. So then every Tuesday I call, I go through all my calls. And then I'll, based on whether I connected with them or not, I put it in there to keep calling. And then if we do call or they're not ready or whatever, every 30 days we send a letter. So it's like, we just try to keep touching them and stay top of mind. So when they are ready, then they remember. So I put the task back to her. Hey, send a letter. So she hand writes notes to these people.
Yeah. The personalized handwritten are
Blue
a
pen.
very great touch too.
Yeah.
When you call, are you calling the heir?
Well, whoever the personal representative is for the estate or the attorney, the probate attorney that's, managing it. It depends. Every case is a little different.
Yeah, and every county is different.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it looks like someone actually has it. I was just going to pop that one up. I was like, a 10-plex seller finance for a 1031 exchange.
John, is this the one we saw in the Subto chat?
That's my buddy Dustin Moser from Detroit. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I saw this one in the chat earlier today.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. He was actually going to rent to own a place. I gave him some advice how to land contract it and own it. He ended up buying it. Him and his girlfriend live there. He's super pumped. Awesome guy. Awesome. But yeah, definitely reach out to him on that. I think that's the best answer on that. Gotta review it. He knows my number. He can send it over. I'm not sure what we can answer right now. We're definitely open to looking at it. And then Mike might be interested. Maybe we can team up and buy it. Potentially all of us.
Yeah.
It's got all the bells and whistles. Seller finance, 10-plex, 1031. I was like,
good deal. I'm telling him I'm going to send him a group text, me, him, and Mike Lutz, and we're going to see what we can do together.
Bazinga.
Or I can, if you like.
Jeff Long, we have a new probate law, which is good and faster. The key changes under AB. I'm not sure what that law is, but I'm sure every state has or maybe even every county has different ones.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a daughter that can find and qualify leads, you can learn how to use AI. Are you using AI in your business?
We got 4 daughters.
Can we rent one?
That's funny.
Yeah.
We send them to John to get trained and then cut them loose.
Right. So if people are looking to do deals with you guys, I see you have your Instagram handle on there, Michael, and then Justin has his Justin Pickle or johnpickle.com. You have that website up there. Are those the 2 best ways to communicate with you guys?
Yeah, I would say so. I check the messages on there, or my email's the same thing, michael.lutz2@gmail.com. And, send me an email. I check that regularly.
Perfect. All right. Well, I am excited that I got to talk to you guys and super excited to see where your daughters are at in the family business.
Yeah, it's what I'm looking for long-term holds, and primarily in Mobile, Alabama. That market is where we're looking the most. So
I see a lot of deals coming through. I don't know how far they are from Mobile, but
the north, I see them too. Yeah, I see a lot of Huntsville and Madisonville and Birmingham, but that's about 4 or 5 hours north of where I'm where we at now.
what
We're
made
just
you
trying
pick
to
this
stay in
market?
the market that we already have properties. So
What made you pick Alabama? I'm just curious when people go outside of their backyard.
when I started, it was 20, like I said, 20 years ago after 2008 and the market fell apart. I was here in Michigan, and that's where most of my properties are. And I was like, man, I love buying and selling and flipping. And, because we would like flip 1 to 2, and then we'd buy one and hold one, flip another 1 or 2 and buy and hold, depending on how good we did on the flip, because that's what we were doing full time. And when the market fell apart, we still were able to do it in Alabama. I mean, it's kind of a fun story is I actually went down to Biloxi, Mississippi, because it was after Hurricane Katrina, and there was a lot of grant money for people to come in. But by the time I was looking at the homes based on the acquisition price and the rehab, you were at about 75 to 80% LTV. So if I had active income, I probably would have been okay. But we were using the flipping money for the income, and it just didn't work. And so somebody said, man, you ought to go to Mobile, Alabama. Everything you described, that's a great place, which it's not too far from there. So we drove to Mobile, Alabama. We met with a wholesaler, and 3 days later we bought a home, and we stayed there for a couple years. So
How cool.
yeah. So, just based on our math, we did really good on those over the course of 20 years. So we're like, well, let's, especially as you're getting older and kids are graduating, and we're down to our last one in the house. And so, we want to be in the South, a little warmer, a little better environment for, the lifestyle we're looking for.
Yeah, super cool. And then you already know your people down there, and you've invested there. James is looking to get started in real estate, and he was wondering what you guys suggest if he had about 10 to 15 hours a week to dedicate and about $15,000 or $50,000 liquid investments ability.
And as John paused, I think this would be a John one, since he, or maybe get in touch with John outside of here, because he leads the Subto Michigan community, and they have a lot of opportunities like for training and things like that. And I actually went to a lot of their training when I was kind of just getting started again, and I got to listen to everybody making calls. They do it, I forget what time it is, but it's like from 9 to noon or something. And anybody can drop in and, listen to everybody making calls, and then, build your confidence up. And then I started making calls and, just getting back going again and getting that comfort. And then that's when we went back to the, the probate and doing that. So he's got systems in place to be able to train people and help them out. And it's all, if you do find a deal and you don't know what to do with it, you joint venture with them, and they'll help you, disposition it. So it was great. It's like making money to get, or to learn,
Absolutely. So James, I don't know what market you're in, but I highly suggest following exactly what Michael just said. Finding people in your local market and attending there and figuring out what you like to do, because there's plenty of things, whatever you like to do, whether you like cold calling, or if maybe your day job has you driving an Uber truck or a FedEx delivery, you can be a bird dogger. Maybe you work in the medical field with a lot of doctors, you could be getting capital. So people that you're working with, you can connect them with other people's deals. There's a lot of different ways to wedge in, but it just depends on your scenario and your market. But I would start by attending a local Subto meetup, talking with people, and then seeing what you have to offer, because there's plenty of people to partner with in the community, whether you do it virtually or such. But everybody has something different that they can offer. Do you look for any cash flow on these long-term rentals?
Yes.
You back out.
Yeah, I don't know what the back out per month. Oh, for expenses, got it. You try to do 10% for management and 10% for maintenance that we put off to the side. The last deal we just did, we got a Section 8 tenant in it for $1,686, and our payment was about $1,248 all in PITI. So that spread will cover the maintenance cost and the management fee that we, like I said, we self-manage, but we put that money away because eventually, as we grow, we want to hire a management company and want to be prepared for that.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, I love the Bitcoin symbol.
So Giovanna wants to find deals for someone. Absolutely, you can begin without an LLC. Anybody can start
100%.
finding deals. I have people send me deals that, hey, my neighbor's house is up for sale. Hey, I drove by this one. Yes, so absolutely, you don't need an LLC to get you from starting.
Yeah, and if you want
Laws
a
out there for
simple
wholesale.
way to get deals, if you want to look at my son's course, who's done almost 200 deals, mostly Subto, on justinpickle.com, you will definitely enjoy that. We're also having a Zoom tomorrow night at 7:00. I can drop it in the chat if that's cool.
Boom, drop it.
I already dropped the website in there, so that's a phenomenal course that can help people get deals without money. And I actually want Mike's daughter to start like spending an hour or so doing that as well. I think we'd get a lot of deals doing that because she's aggressive and goes after things and stuff. And we're doing the same thing. And then when you bring it's the whole DTW, direct to wholesaler. Supposed to get that in the vault soon upon Pace's final approval.
Love it. Someone asked about Airbnb regulations and wholesale regulations. I know that's a ever-changing topic, and it's all state by state. South Carolina is different, and Arizona is different than Florida.
I don't have any experience with that. So
yeah, I don't think Michigan has done anything with regulations on wholesale.
I haven't heard anything, and I read the local magazines and newsletters that I get from being a realtor like John.
Yeah, and we haven't had any of that here in Florida either yet. Do you put any contingent, or do you have any piggy banks for your vacancies for your rentals?
Well, we've built it up over the years, so I don't have a set number. We just know what our comfort level is. Like, we always like to have at least $10,000 in the bank per property, but we're very, very conservative. So I know not everybody's like that, but for us, that's our comfort level.
I know some people say 10%, and I'm like, 10% is like $140 on a standard rental, but that piggy banks. So
yeah. I mean, if you got to do a roof, you're going to be anywhere from $7,500 to maybe $15,000, depending on the size of the home, and it goes quick.
Mm-hmm. It really does. It's definitely a long play.
Yeah.
At least for my rentals. My rentals are not. I don't have them for the cash flow. I have them for the long term.
Yeah.
The appreciation, depreciation aspect, but.
Yeah, we do it for the lower valued homes at $100,000 to $200,000 price point that we can put Section 8 tenants in, and we make ours a little nicer than everybody else. We've actually gotten referrals from our tenants saying, hey, do you have any other ones? Because we fix we take care of the repairs, we do everything. We make them like we were going to live in them. So we try to give the underserved a really nice place to live.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How do you evaluate a home for its long-term rental potential, especially when you have two deals that you're looking at? Do you use DSCR for your acquisitions?
The last one that I just did, we used a private money lender to buy it and do all the improvements, and then we did the cash out refi with a DSCR, correct?
Okay. And there's plenty of sites that you can use to comp your rentals. Zillow is a really good place to use your rentals. I have a local one, affordablehousing.com. I don't know if that's nationwide, but that's a good one that we've been using here for our rentals in Jacksonville. In the HUD, so you can also look up local rents that way, apartment.com.
Yeah.
But
we have a VA, and I just had them go to every single housing commission and pull what a Section 8 for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bedroom home would do. And we just look at our charts when we're, analyzing a deal.
Yeah. And they're pretty high.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. They're very competitive when it comes to the rental.
Yeah, that's Detroit, 1686. That's Detroit. So.
Right. Well, awesome. Thank you guys so much. That was a lot of valuable information.
Yeah, those questions just kept coming and they did not stop coming. So I appreciate y'all taking the time. Seriously, if you're watching today, Michael, John, and Mandy all spent their hard-earned time with you today. Nobody's paying them to be on this live with us. They're giving this value to you completely for free, just like John's sons mini course. So feel free to scroll back in the comments to find that mini course, because I'm sure that has a lot of action-packed value as well. So yeah, I'm hoping everybody takes down Michael's contact information, John's contact information, and Mandy's, because if you're in the areas like Michigan or in Florida, they might be able to help you out. I'm sure they're go-givers just like everybody else in the Subto, Top Tier TC, and Gator community. So yeah, absolute rock stars today. Y'all killed it. But I did want to kind of expand the learning from here. I did want to let everyone know that there's actually a man versus machine training kind of challenge of sorts that's happening just in a few short hours. So I put the link in the chat earlier, just kind of making a joke about how, maybe if you don't have daughters that can help you find and qualified leads, you can attend this challenge and kind of learn how to incorporate AI potentially into your business to do that for you. And, maybe even find some leads for Michael and John as well.
Yeah.
So feel free to check that out. Cool.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun little play because, Pace Morby, he is like the king of creative finance. He's been able to close so many deals. So the whole challenge of it is, is he faster than AI? So if you want to find that out, you can definitely go out to the challenge as well. But it also kind of shows you the next level or the next step that we're seeing this business transition into, partnering with AI in order to get a lot of that deal flow that we're all looking for. That's wild. So if you are watching today and maybe, you're in the Subto community or the Top Tier TC community or the Gator community, we definitely want you up here. We want to showcase that you're doing these deals and all the fun and all of the trials and tribulations that you might have gone through with those deals and getting them through that finish line. So if you would like an opportunity to kind of have this platform and tell people about what you're doing, because, if you tell people, more deals will start coming to you. Right. If you're putting that energy out into the universe, you'll get that right back. So with that, Taya Goodwin, she is the person that schedules all of these out for us. And she was the person that reached out to Michael and John and Mandy and made sure that we could give you a rock star show. So I will drop her email in the chat if you'd like to email her and kind of talk about a recent deal that you've closed. Cool. And with that, yeah. Does anybody have closing thoughts that you might want to add to anybody watching today?
Thank you for sharing that information on the AI. We look at it as a thought partner moving into the future, and what I've been able to accomplish with using it for some aspects of our business is unbelievable.
It's wild.
Yeah. And if Subto, Pace, and Owners Club, and Alex and Mandy are involved, it's something truly amazing. And
right.
You guys have changed history and lives and families and everyone. And so important to have a backbone foundation. I want to thank you guys so much.
You too. And it's only the beginning.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Thank you. Oh, that's so amazing. Well, with that, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their Thursday, and we'll see you at the Man versus Machine Challenge.
Thank you.
Great.